Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror.
Today we're going to do our review on Apartment 7A.
So, a non-spoiler synopsis to this movie. A struggling dancer finds herself drawn into dark forces by a peculiar old couple, and they promise her fame and everything she could ever want. And yes, this is the prequel to Rosemary's Baby.
So we're going to say some positives, some negatives, and then spoil the movie.
So this movie does come out tomorrow, so make sure you're checking it out exclusively on Paramount Plus. But first, let's get into the positives.
So some of the positives, the acting is really great. You feel genuinely bad for the character Terry.
Yeah.
You really feel for this girl.
Yeah. And then also Terry and Annie's friendship feels real. Mm-hmm. She's like, I can't hold you back anymore. I have to try to make it on my own. And you really feel like this sisterly, loving bond between the two of them.
Yeah, just like Annie really wants the best for Terry,
Yes.
and vice versa. I also really love all the dancing and the choreography that went along with it. I think they did a phenomenal job. I really loved watching that.
It really is like Black Swan meets Rosemary's Baby in that aspect. Like you get a lot of the dancing scenes that are really, really good.
And I mean, just think about all the time that they put into, trying to learn those dance moves and all be on beat, and it's really well done.
Yeah. The monster devil in the movie is really amazing. Looks really creepy. Very scary practical effects for that, which, bless you for the practical effects.
And then the music. I find myself dancing with the actors. The score is really great. I really enjoyed the music a lot.
Yeah. And there's some very creepy imagery, whether it's bloody things in a dryer or, the white brightness of certain things. Again, we're not going to talk too much about them because we don't want to spoil, but, trying to be as spoiler free as we can. Mm-hmm. Those are some of our positives. Now let's get into our negatives of Apartment 7A.
So let's get into some of the negatives. It's kind of a slow burn. It feels, at first it feels like a Lifetime movie, a lot of drama, but very slow moving. So if that's not your thing, you probably wouldn't enjoy this.
Right. And the monster, I mean, obviously if you've seen Rosemary's Baby, there's going to be an SA scene in this movie. Very uncomfortable. Obviously, it's people that do not like that in the first place. It was quite the we anticipated it because we knew it was coming, but it's still not easy to watch.
Mm-hmm. And then there's just more uncomfortable scenes of like touching when it seems unwanted, and it makes you feel uncomfortable.
And again, these could be misconstrued as negatives or positives because they did a really good job in what they were trying to do. Mm-hmm. You have some stereotypical side characters, like the mean girl, the rich, powerful man, just the stereotypical type of characters for this type of movie.
And there's a lot of dream sequences where she wakes up and is gasping for air and nothing's there. There was a lot of that going on.
Yeah. A lot of seeing things that aren't really there, too. Mm-hmm. Like, what was that? Oh, wait. Oh, no, it's not there now. Oh, wait, it's over there. Oh, wait, no, it's not. No, yes, it is. That type of thing. It's just like, this trope has been played out, guys. We can just never do that in horror again.
Also, note to self, when you're trying to sneak out of somewhere, do not wear the earrings that
long,
dangle.
Dangly earrings.
They are the loudest damn earrings, and high heels. Like, you're clinking and clacking the whole way through. They're going to hear you.
Right. And I will say that while the dance sequences were great, some of them, especially one in particular, is very drawn out. Now, again, the choreography of it, beautiful.
Absolutely.
Really well done. But it gets to the point where it almost feels like filler time. So, wasn't a big fan of some of those moments, but overall, the dancing was worth the price of admission alone.
Absolutely.
So those are some of our negatives. If you haven't seen it, shut this off, watch the movie when it comes out tomorrow, and then come back. If you don't care, we're about to spoil the hell out of this for you.
All right, guys, now we're going to spoil things for you. So there's this dancer, Terry. They're doing this really cool dance in the beginning, and she does this like leaping, I don't know what it's called, but she breaks her ankle, and you just hear like the cracking of her bones and the way it twists. It makes you cringe. It looks really cool, though, the way she did it. Like, she did a good job with that.
Well, then she obviously, she's trying to recover from that, and she's going back for more auditions because now she's the girl that fell, and they're making her do the jump over and over and over again. Which, and you could tell, like at first she's doing it, and then she's starting to get super uncomfortable about it. She can't keep doing it, so she takes a bunch of pain medications, gets dizzy, and this old couple takes them back to their house, because she starts puking and shit. And they're like, "Well, come on, let us take care of you."
Yeah, so the old couple, Minnie and Roman.
Those names sound quite familiar.
So they're really rich, and they want Terry to stay at the Bradford in this apartment. It's free to her. They just want to be able to pick their own neighbors, I guess. And
they never had kids. They got a wealth of money. They want to spend the money on her.
And it just so happens that the guy that owns like the dance studio lives in the same apartment.
Well, she followed him there.
Yeah.
And she was trying to like get into his apartment to talk to him, and the bellhop was like, "What are you doing, lady?
Yeah,
like, keep going."
Yeah.
She wakes up in Alan's bed after the disgusting essay scene, and tells her that she's made the choir team, the dance team. Because she doesn't remember anything from the night before. Mm-mm. She's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "You don't remember? Yeah, you made it."
Yeah, so, and he's all like, "Oh, well, that kind of makes me feel bad that she didn't remember." Like, dude, shut up. Yeah. So then you find out that one of Minnie's friends, this older lady, she has this cream that she puts on her ankle, and when she wakes up, her ankle is like feeling better. It's this cream that she made, so she's like cured by this green cream that she puts on her ankle.
Well, then Terry eventually finds out that she's pregnant, and Minnie and Roman want to adopt her baby, and they'll give her the fame she craves. They're like, "You don't just want to do this. You can have everything you've ever wanted if you have this baby." Because she's like, "I don't know if I'm going to keep it." And they're like, "What are we talking about here?"
Yeah, because they couldn't have kids themselves, so they want to have this baby.
Right.
And then you find the secret way into apartment 7A through her like pantry. Yeah, because Minnie, she has no boundaries. She's constantly just going into the apartment, and yeah.
And then the one lady, I can never remember her name, says she has to stop this, and she tries to kill Terry. She tries to stab her with scissors, and you're just like, "What the hell is wrong with this lady?" Mm-hmm. We know, but Terry doesn't at this point. And
then you find out that the girl that lived in Terry's apartment prior to her fled in the middle of the night and then was hit by a bus.
Yeah. And another very, very uncomfortable scene. You think that Terry's going to have an abortion, and she's there. She's at the gynecologist or whatever does the abortion doctor. And when she tries to actually have it done, it's so painful that she kicks the doctor, and her body like seizes up and freezes up. It's quite a uncomfortable and disgusting scene. And this also happened earlier with the dancer that had the lead in the play.
Yeah.
She just all of a sudden started like contorting and twisting. And then Terry got the lead role.
So yeah. And then so we go back to the apartment, and we find this like.
Well, this is where Terry's starting to
like
suspect
put things together.
That things are going, that they're doing this for her.
And so she goes back and she follows Minnie. And this is where she sees Alan, and he kind of pretty much confirms what she's thinking until she stabs him in the stomach.
Yeah. And then you think that she's going to accept her fate. This is my favorite part of the movie, by the way. And she starts dancing in front of all these devil worshippers.
Yeah.
And she's like doing her dance, and they're like, "We finally have the one.
And
she's pregnant."
She's like praising the devil, and they're all yelling, and like they're all happy.
Then she gets up on the window, and then she just lets herself fall out, and it's fucking surprising and awesome.
Yeah.
And she lands on top of the car, dying on impact.
When she sat on that window ledge, I was
kind of had an idea.
All right, Terry, okay, girl.
I'd rather be dead than give birth to the Antichrist.
And then you get this post-credit scene where you have Minnie and Roman looking for their new victim for their apartment to get impregnated and to carry out this Antichrist.
So overall, I'm going to give this a 2.5 out of 5. I had enough fun with it. It felt more like a Rosemary's Baby remake than it was a prequel. But even so, you knew what was going to be happening throughout the movie. I'm not a fan of prequels anyway, so when you see Roman and Minnie, you're like, "Oh, well, they're safe. They're fine. I've seen Rosemary's Baby," and stuff like that. I think that's why I'm not a big fan of prequels. The movie on its own is fine. I think it was fine enough. But just nothing new enough for me. The ending was the best part for me. That last 5 minutes was the best part of the movie. So I'm going to say a 2.5.
That's fair. I agree with that. A 2.5 out of 5. Like I said, I thought the acting was phenomenal. I love the feel of like the era.
Yeah.
I thought that they did really well with that. And
You'll probably like if you've never seen Rosemary's Baby, I think you'll like this movie more than we did.
yeah, for sure. And like I said, the dancing, that's really, I love dancing. That's something that's pretty big in our household.
Yeah.
So,
I say not just with you, but with our girls too.
yeah.
So watching that is really fun to see. You know,
Yes.
until like the ankle breaking and women contorting into unrealistic movements of their body, like it's so gross.
Right, but even like when she does break her ankle and you hear that cracking and it just makes you cringe. They did really good with that.
Right. So let us know in the comments, guys. Are you excited for this movie? If you've already seen it, what were your thoughts on Apartment 7A? And what would your ranking be out of 5? We would love to know. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Our links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.